It's January of 2025, which means it's time to order my seeds for the 2025 growing season. What's up, guys? My name's Tony. In this video, I'm going to take you with me as I order seeds for the 2025 growing season. I also have my own seed bank at home, which is super important, and I think everybody should have their own. I'm going to go ahead and resupply that and rotate out some of my the seeds that I currently have in there with some new ones. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot. Let's get right into it. So I have a big seed bank at home. However, every single year I like to add more to put into my seed bank because I like to rotate out the seeds. I keep the seed bank for a couple different reasons. One of them is just so I have seeds throughout the year when I want to grow things, and the other one is just in case, anything catastrophic happens and seeds become unavailable. I'm not talking about like a doomsday thing, but remember back during COVID when people started getting into gardening a lot more? That year, seeds were very hard to come by and they sold out very quick. So just situations like that, I'm not looking to survive a disaster or anything like that, like a nuclear disaster or anything like wild. I just mean like if seeds are hard to come by, I would like to have my own seed bank and to be able to share seeds with people. So all I'm doing today is just buying some new seeds to restock my seed bank. I'm going to get just a couple of the ones that I already have that I go through a lot of, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find some new ones. I'm mostly just looking for vegetable seeds. I'm pretty set on flowers, so right now, mostly vegetables is what I'm after, and more than that, just the vegetables that I actually enjoy to eat. So first, I do like asparagus a lot. Let's see what they have. So asparagus seeds, and by the way, I'm on Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. This is one of my favorite sites to order from. Mary Washington asparagus seeds. I think I might hold off on asparagus seeds. No, I'm gonna get some. I like to get asparagus that is rooted already, but it doesn't hurt to have a few asparagus seeds laying around. And the Mary Washington variety grows really well out here in western Colorado where I live. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just get some of those. Let's see what else. They have so many beautiful pictures on here. I can grow things pretty well, but I have a hard time sometimes getting my stuff to look like this. So we have barley and basil. I'm going to go ahead and see if they have any new basil varieties here. I love growing basil. I have an herb garden that I mostly grow for tea and spices. So lemon basil is a staple that I will definitely have to have. I'm going to go ahead and add some lemon basil. You have to have that in your collection if you don't have any. Holy Thai basil. This is really good if you suffer from anxiety. You can just like chew on a leaf. I know it sounds crazy, and I'm not a hippie or anything like that, but there's something to it, because when you chew on a holy basil leaf, it does give you a sense of calmness that kind of rushes through your body. It's not a cure for anxiety or anything like that. You need medicine for that. But for like short bursts of anxiety, it definitely helps. Let's see what else they have. Some cardinal basil, Chinese sweet basil. I tried the cinnamon basil seeds, and I have a bunch of them still. I wasn't too impressed with it because it wasn't cinnamon that I was really tasting. I'm not exactly sure what it was. It smells really good. I'll give it that. But it wasn't the taste that I was after. Dark purple opal basil. Let's just see what this is all about right here. I just mostly got intrigued by the color. Look how pretty that is. So for those of you who don't know much about basil, this stuff says it's not frost hardy. That's true for any type of basil. Basil, it does not do well with frost. So just keep that in mind. It's very much a summer plant, especially if you live in an area that freezes. If you live down in Florida, I've lived in South Florida, you can grow it all year. But in Florida, it's actually more of a winter plant because the sun can get a little bit too intense in the summertime amongst all the other issues that happen in Florida, like the pests that really show themselves in the wintertime. This lime basil, I was very skeptical last year, but I grew it and I like it a lot. This tends to kind of get overcrowded by some other plants in my herb garden, but I really like it, so I'm going to add some more to my seed stash. So then we have the Siam Queen. There's a couple different types of basil that I absolutely cannot stand, and the Siam Queen is one of them. I don't mind the Thai sweet basil for like curries and soups and things like that. I'm going to add a little bit more, but I absolutely cannot stand Siam Queen Thai basil. I don't know if I just have like a gene that makes me not like it or what. And there is the Genovese basil. I don't think I've seen that yet. Oh, here it is right here. So the Genovese basil. This is one of the worst tasting things I've ever had in my life, and I know it's just a me thing because people love this stuff. I can't stand it. So again, I do kind of wonder if it's just like a genetic thing where I just don't like it, kind of like cilantro, how it tastes like soap to some people. I can't stand it. Lettuce leaf basil is pretty good. This is something you can just throw into salads in small quantities because it's pretty potent. And I think that'll do it for the basil. So let's see what else we have. We have some bean seeds. So I love beans. I prefer pole beans versus bush beans because I live in an urban area and it's kind of hard to dedicate a lot of space to bush beans. So I like to have pole beans that can grow up the fences on the perimeters of my garden. So we have some common beans, garbanzo beans, no thank you, fava beans, no thank you, lima beans, long beans, runner beans, and winged beans. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the common beans. This is mostly what I'm after anyway. So these 1,500-year-old cave beans are amazing. I grew them a couple years ago for the first time. So these things are thought to be 1,500 years old, and they grow on really long vines. As you can see here, they're kidney-shaped, and they are purple and white. They are very, very beautiful bean, and they are very, very good to eat, and they grow very well here. So I guess the lore behind this is that this was found in a pot in New Mexico, and it was 1,500 years old. Somebody planted it, and then these grew from it, and they were able to actually replicate these beans, and they were able to sell them to a lot of people. So I think that's kind of a cool story. And that's one of the things I like about heirloom varieties is that they all have their own story that come along with them. So it's just a really cool thing. I'm not a big fan of these black turtle beans. I think they look really cool, but as far as like taste and stuff like that, not a huge fan. Let's see what else they have here. Blue Lake bush beans. I'm going to add some of these to my cart just because these are a staple that I grow every single year. And I know I said that free gift is not available anymore. I wonder what I did. I know I said that I don't like to donate or dedicate a lot of space to bush beans, but I do dedicate some space to bush beans. And this is a variety that I like to have. The Cherokee Trail of Tear beans, all the way back from 1839. Some of you guys might remember the Trail of Tears history. It was a really horrific event. Long story short, it was brought by the Cherokee people as they were marched to Oklahoma by the federal government, as you can see right here. It was a tragic event, and I just think that this is a really cool piece of history that these beans have been around for so long and just passed down from generation to generation. So I'm going to make sure I add more of those. I do have a bunch of them already, but the more the merrier, right? I can justify spending money on seeds at least one time per year. Next up are these the dragon tongue bush beans. I'm going to add these. They are very pretty and they taste great. I had these things growing in Colorado until first week of November last year. It didn't freeze very hard, and I kind of live in like a microclimate zone. I don't know. They just did really well. I just remember having these in November, and I thought that was the wildest thing ever. I wasn't expecting them to live much past September or so. So definitely got to add those to the cart. Let's see what else. Like, I want all of these, and I have a lot of them already. I'm just kind of restocking on some of the ones that I know that I like, and then I want to get just a couple more varieties of seeds. So we got the homestead beans, papaderola beans. Let's see, purple potted pole beans. These are really pretty, and I'm not sure. I've never had these before, actually. Look how pretty those are in bright purple. I noticed a couple years ago that there was only a couple purple varieties of plants, and something must have happened, or maybe the interest has just picked up because now I see purple plants everywhere. So let's see what these are. These are pole beans, which is great. They come from the Ozark Mountains. Oh, so they were developed in the 1930s from the Ozark Mountains. That's pretty cool. So they grow up to 6 feet tall. In my experience, most pole beans grow taller than 6 feet tall. So that's kind of like a starting point. As long as you're taking care of them right. See, I'm not a big fan of wax beans. I just don't like them. They kind of gross me out. I do have a bunch of wax beans just because I love having a seed bank, and I do give out a lot of my seeds when people need them or when they want to try them out. But I do not have any interest in wax beans. They are not my favorite thing. And I think the last variety of beans that I'm going to get is the red swan bush bean. So let's check these out. I haven't grown these before either. They look a little bit more maroon and purple than they do red, but they're really cool. So these are made from Robert Lobitz in Minnesota, where I'm originally from. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try these out. We'll see. So I can see up here my running total. I have 11 items in my cart. So this is going to get very expensive, I think. Are there any other beans that I want? Let's just take a look at the runner beans. I don't I think I'm good on them though. I don't need them. I think I already added enough beans. All right, so barley seeds, I'm good on that. I don't grow barley, but I do have barley seeds just in case anyone I know ever needs them. Bok choy, it doesn't grow very well here, so I just don't bother with it. I love bok choy. There is a supermarket about 60 miles away that sells bok choy, so I will just continue to get it from the supermarket. Broccoli seeds. I always want to restock on these, grow a lot of broccoli, and I actually harvest a lot of my own broccoli seeds, so I don't really need them, but it's not a bad thing to have. So I'll go ahead and put some Calabrese broccoli into my cart. I really like this rapini broccoli. This is the broccoli that has the long shoots. They serve this at like the fancy restaurants, just to add to my point. So I love rapini broccoli. I think I just added it twice. It is one of my favorite types of broccoli. Not a huge fan of the purple types of broccoli. They taste kind of bitter to me, but I will add some of this Waltham broccoli to my cart. This is another staple in my garden, and you can never have enough of it. Brussels sprouts, no thank you. Even in a doomsday scenario, you are not going to find me eating Brussels sprouts. Butterfly peas, cabbage. Cabbage isn't my favorite thing of all times, but I do like to have it on hand. I put it in some Asian dishes that I make, and it's always a good staple in soup. So golden acre cabbage seems to work really well where I live, so I'm going to add some more of that. This looks really cool and tempting, but I hate this about myself because I don't need this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And kale, yeah, kale's one of those things. I have a ton of it. I don't need any more kale. I don't eat kale. I kind of have it. I don't know why I have it, honestly. The seeds have just taken over my life, and I can't explain. I have no explanation for why. Carrot seeds, I have a ton. Carrot seeds, a little bit goes a long way with these things. I don't need anything fancy. I'm kind of particular when it comes to carrots. These look interesting. I might try them out. Manpukuji. I'm assuming that's how you say that. Manpukuji. I could be wrong. They look really big and cool. I'm going to try them after I just got done saying that I'm really particular about carrots. But the St. Valerie carrots are really good. I'm going to go ahead and add those to my cart. There's one more that I'm after that I'm not seeing right now. Okay, celery seeds. I'm not going to bother with these. I have some already, and celery doesn't grow very well in Colorado, at least for me anyway. That's the key there. It doesn't grow well for me. I love German chamomile. I have a bunch of it. They're out of stock. I'll probably still come back and order more of this later, or I might see if another site like MI Gardener has it. I'm going to go ahead and add these chamomile seeds to my cart. Daisy seeds, I'm not familiar with this variety. I have a really big herb garden, and I just like to add different things to it just to see how they do. Chinese cabbage, chives. Chives, I have a ton of chive seeds, and they grow back every single year. So that's one of those things where I don't feel the need to stock up on every year. Cilantro. So I know I said I don't like the taste of certain types of basil, but I do like cilantro, and I make a lot of salsas with it. The slow bolt cilantro is really good, especially if you live in hot environments, kind of like I do. In the summertime, it's usually around like in the 80s or 90s in early summer, and then in the high 90s for July and August until September or so. If you guys aren't familiar with slow bolt cilantro, basically when cilantro bolts, that just means that it goes to flower, and when it goes to flower, it can develop a really bitter taste. This is designed essentially to go to flower a lot slower. You get a few more weeks out of it than you would with regular cilantro. Corn seeds. First things first, I have a couple thoughts on this glass gem corn. So I've grown it. First of all, it doesn't grow very well in Colorado where I live. It doesn't like my clay soil. It's super, super pretty. And I've had it, and it's okay. It's not the best tasting. It's ornamental, so I don't feel the need to buy that again. For corn, I'd like to kind of just stick to the basics. Amish butter popcorn. Let's see if I can find what I'm after here. Or maybe I can find a new variety that I might be interested in. So a lot of this kind of ornamental corn, I'm not a huge fan of. And I know that's not really the purpose. It's not just ornamental, but I don't know. This golden bantam corn is actually pretty good. And I think I'm out of that, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. And I'm after at least one more sweet corn variety. Look how pretty this corn is, though. It's almost like they took the glass gem seeds and they found certain colors, that they isolated certain colors and made different varieties. I'm not sure if that's what happened or not, but that's kind of what it looks like. Mini blue popcorn, mini pink popcorn. There's just all kinds of things going on with this corn. This Montana sunburst. Let's go ahead and see what that's all about. That's really pretty. The thing is, I don't have a ton of room for corn, but I do like to have the seeds. Our current lot of seeds is being overpacked due to low germination. That kind of tells me all I need to know. Really cool stuff, but I don't really want to spend money on low germination seeds. True Gold, here we go. This is a good variety. I'm going to go ahead and add that. There's all kinds of corn on here. Wow. So here's a super sweet variety right here. So this is out of Kansas. It matures in 85 to 95 days. It is from Germany. That's good enough for me. That looks good. I just need a new sweet corn variety, so I'll go ahead and add that. All right, next up, cucumbers. I have an interesting history with cucumbers in Colorado. Some varieties do really well and some varieties just don't. And when I say Colorado, I'm just talking about my specific yard and land and growing conditions. It's super, super hot here, and the sun is very direct and intense, and I use raised beds that tend to dry out. So it makes growing things like cucumbers and squashes and melons rather difficult. So here's a Boston pickling cucumber. I'm gonna go ahead and add that because I have had success with those before. I wanted to grow these, the dragon eggs. I might try them. I've never tried to grow them before, but we're gonna try. If there's anything that you guys want me to try out to grow and make a video on later, just go ahead and leave that in the comments. And make sure you like and subscribe to my channel while you're at it. Cucumber seeds, lemon cuke. I've tried these. They don't work where I'm at. They probably work great in other places, just not where I'm at specifically. So we got miniature white, Monica, Punakira. These ones actually grow really well in my environment. These are from India. I'm going to go ahead and add these. The ideal temperature is 70 to 90 degrees, which we definitely exceed. And what I do is I usually put up a shade cloth in June, but they're a very juicy variety of cucumber. So we got the Tokyo Green, West Indian, Cilantro melon. I don't know how to say that. Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds has a lot of really cool variety. I kind of noticed that they lack a little bit on the traditional varieties, and that's okay. You can get traditional varieties anywhere. I'm really after the heirloom varieties, so that's why I really like Baker Creek Seeds. Elephant dill. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of that. That's something I just grow every year along with my herbs in my herb garden. Eggplants, another thing that you will not catch me eating in a disaster. I would rather starve. No, thank you. I hate eggplants so much that they're not even allowed in my seed vault to repopulate the world. Garlic bulbs, they're all out of stock right now, so I'm going to have to just get those from like a local place. I like getting them from a local place anyway because they tend to grow the best in my climate. Goji berry seeds, I've never really grown goji berry. I'm kind of interested, but I also don't have unlimited space. Huckleberries, let's see what else. Jelly melon, king of bitters, lace flowers, lemon balm. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more lemon balm. Holy cow, now we have all kinds of lemon balm seeds to choose from. So right now, I just have regular lemon balm seeds. These look interesting. Mandarina, these look interesting. So let's just see what these are all about. It's a lemon balm infused with the intoxicating scent of mandarin orange. I don't know how well this will do, but this is something I'd be willing to try for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart, and I will see how those do in my garden. Lemongrass seeds, lettuce. So I have to be kind of picky with lettuce because only certain lettuce grows well here. I like to get kind of like a summer bib type of lettuce that will at least produce through June. No matter what though, July and August, it's lettuce just does not work where I live. I try to get a very early crop of it and then a late fall crop. Let's see, we got Ice Queen, Henderson's, Haushan. Some of these are new. This Merlot lettuce, I actually got this sent to me as the free seeds from Baker Creek last year. And this stuff does very, very well. I had some of this Merlot lettuce growing through July in a container in the full sun. So this Merlot lettuce works really well, and I highly recommend it. I will say, by the time July got around, it was kind of going to seed a little bit, and it got a little bit more bitter, but I mean, it lasted really well. And if you don't mind lettuce that's a little bit bitter, that's a pretty good recommendation. But it's usually not bitter. As long as you grow it in the cooler months, it tastes just fine. Tom Thumb lettuce, that tends to do very well here. I'm going to add that, and I'm going to look for one more leaf variety that I can try out. So they don't have a lot of the lettuces that I have on hand currently, so I might just have to experiment here just to see. Let's look for a leaf lettuce. This Haushan lettuce looks good. So tangy flavors. The flavor has hints of Granny Smith apples. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want Granny Smith apple tasting lettuce, but I'm intrigued. Sickened but curious. Let's just go ahead and add that to my cart. And that's enough lettuce for now. I have so many lettuce seeds, it's not even funny. Melon seeds. Let's see what they have for melons. And again, I have to be picky here because melons need a lot of water and Colorado does not have a lot of water, but there are some varieties that seem to work, especially like the cantaloupes. Crane melon, golden crispy. I'm just going to get a couple varieties that I know work and a couple varieties that look really pretty. So Hale's best. That's just something that works really well here. Honeydew, I love honeydew. I just haven't had really good luck growing it here. Kazakh melon. That's kind of pretty. I'm going to go ahead and add that. That's new. We'll see how that does. I know that's an awful, like, I have no self-control, obviously, so it's fine, though. Petite, I'm not going to pretend to know how to pronounce French words. Rich sweetness, small Persian, sweet passion, Tigger melon. That looks really cool. So the Hale's Best was the only one I'm, like, super familiar with and that I know grows here. This looks really cool, though. Let's just see what this is all about. It does well in dry climates. It even tastes sweeter in dry climates. I mean, that's good news. Weighs up to a pound, so they must be smaller. They sound a lot smaller than normal. They came from Armenia in a mountain valley, and I live in the mountains, so this might do well here. We'll try it out, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. So exiting the melons, milkweed. I like to add milkweed. So here we got butterfly weed, gay butterflies, interesting. Hello yellow, Ice Ballet, Heavenly Blue, Soulmate, Showy, and Red or Swamp. I'm not too sure which would be the best choice, and I think I'm gonna get some of my native plants from one of my local nurseries because I don't want to be planting the wrong type of milkweed for the butterflies that I have here. So I'm gonna hold off on that. Mint, I have a ton of mint, like a ridiculous amount of mint. I don't even need to go there. Moonflower seeds are cool. If you guys have never grown moonflowers, these are flowers that bloom in the middle of the night, and they have really, really big blooms. They're pretty cool. I highly recommend them. One thing I don't recommend is morning glory. If you live in an area like Colorado where they just turn into weeds, they're beautiful flowers, but man, they take everything over. Nasturtiums, you can eat those. Onion bulbs and onion seeds. I don't have it in me to grow onions from seeds, so I always go with the bulbs, and I'm going to have to get those from a local place because they're out of stock. I always have to get just the wild Zatar oregano. It's a really good variety of oregano. Highly recommend it. The vulgare is fine too. I have some of that. Let's see, oyster leaf seeds, parsley. Here we go. The moss curled parsley is a very safe choice for where I live. It's really good. And then the giant of Italy parsley is really good as well, and it does well in this climate. Peanut seeds, I wish they don't grow here. But pea seeds, I have so many pea seeds, and I harvest my own too. So I really probably don't even need more, but I do like to have a couple different snow varieties, and the mammoth melting sugar ones grow very well here, and then the sugar snaps. I'll just add a few more. I probably didn't need to add any of those, but I did, so what are we going to do? Peppers. I like sweet and hot peppers, but let's just see what they have for hot peppers. I have a ton of peppers already with varying levels of success in growing them because of inconsistent water issues where I live. Last year, I'm trying to remember the Augie peppers did really well. I grew these last year, and they did really well. Aleppo peppers are good. Asante peppers, I'm going to add those. Those are new. I always like to try out some of the new varieties. Brazilian starfish, those are cool looking. I don't think I'm going to try those though. Some of these peppers are just made for like decoration purposes. I mean, you can eat them, but I think the intent was decoration for a few different kinds, so I kind of skip out on some of those. Just like wax beans, I don't like wax peppers. They gross me out. Always have jalapenos for salsa. That's a safe option. Scotch bonnet peppers, I do have a bunch of those. Poblano peppers, I love having these on hand, so I'm going to add a few more. Serrano peppers are always a good choice. What else? Hot peppers, yellow 7-pot, West Indies red habanero. I'm going to add those. And I think that'll do it for the peppers that I'm going to add. Let's just see what they have for sweet peppers. I might just get a few bell peppers if nothing else. These peppers right here, I don't know how to pronounce them, but they grow really well where I live, so I'm going to get a few more of those. California Wonders, and I think I'll just get these bullnose bell peppers. I don't really care about the color of peppers that much. I like to grow them. I mean, for peppers specifically, I like to grow them for functionality. I have other types of vegetables that I like to grow just because they're pretty. I do like the standard orange, yellow, and red and green bell peppers. So this Ozark Giant will be good. I like to make fajitas and things like that, so those just go really well in fajitas. Scrolling down, we got pitcher plant seeds. That's interesting. If you've never grown pitcher plants before, they're really cool. They basically dissolve insects that crawl into them to grow them from seeds before, but it'd be kind of an interesting experiment. I'll get my potatoes. I don't know about those purple potatoes. Those are interesting, but I'll get those at a local place. So a lot of the things that I grow in the ground, the root vegetables, I like to kind of just get those from local places. They tend to just do better. Rosemary. It looks like they only have one variety of rosemary, so we'll go ahead and add some of that. Rosemary's kind of iffy. I start that like way early under grow lights, and I usually have like medium success with it. A lot of them don't grow, and a lot of them do grow, so it's one of those things you just kind of hope for the best. Rosemary, but the ones that do survive, they grow really well outside in my herb garden. So we've got savory seeds. I'm all set on those. Spinach seeds, I will definitely go ahead and add some spinach. Spinach isn't my favorite thing, but I do like it mixed in with salad. So giant noble spinach I highly recommend that. And then where's the New Zealand? New Zealand spinach, I highly recommend that as well. And I'm sure all these other varieties are great. I just know that those are tried and true for me. Squash, I don't know. I've given squash so many chances, and I have so much of it. And I don't know that even in a doomsday scenario, I could eat squash. But it looks like the pumpkins might be mixed in with the squash here. And I do like to grow pumpkins. So the Connecticut field pumpkin is always a good choice. I like them. So I'm going to add some of those to my cart. And I don't have much room for pumpkins. So I typically only get a few varieties. I do like to grow like a really big pumpkin variety, like the giant Atlantic ones, and I just kind of trim it so only 1 or 2 pumpkins grow. I do like the Jacoby Little ones. I can kind of trellis those through my trail that I have going on in my garden area. But I think that's all I'm going to get for pumpkins for this year. Strawberries, I'm going to go ahead and see if they have any mountain varieties of strawberries. So they have this alpine variety right here. These tend to do really well. They're a lot smaller and they take a while to mature. However, it's well worth it once you finally have the strawberries, even though it usually takes them a couple years. Sunflower seeds, I grow all kinds of sunflowers. I like the mammoth ones, so the really, really big ones. And I like this variety right here. So the Double Sun King, let's see what else they have. The Hopi Black Dye, those are cool. But I just like the really, really... So the Mongolian Giants, I believe these are the biggest sunflower seeds, or sunflowers in the world. They grow up to 14 feet tall, and their heads are 12 to 18 inches long, so that's just huge. So I'm going to go ahead and order some of those that I will plant around my property. I just love having those around. They just get massive, and then they provide really good bird seed in the fall time. And then, of course, the teddy bear sunflowers, these grow really well, and I just like having them around because they're really cool looking. Thyme seeds, let's see what they have for thyme. So common thyme, I'll go ahead and add some of that. The orange yellow thyme, I haven't had luck with, but I have had luck with the wild thyme, so I'll add more of that. The orange yellow thyme, I think that would be really cool if I could actually get that to grow. I just have not been very successful with that yet. Tomatoes, I have so many different tomatoes and I don't really like them that much anyway, so I'm not going to order more of those this year. Toothache plant seeds, I don't know if anyone's ever tried those out, but if you put one of these buds in your mouth and chew on them, your whole mouth will go numb. It's a very interesting sensation, and they grow really well outside and inside in pots. So the toothache plants, they're just kind of cool to grow. They're not really supposed to be eaten as like a vegetable. They have a numbing effect. So if you're into that, I'd recommend them. Watermelon seeds, I only have room for a few watermelons, but I will probably pick out some. I like the Crimson Sweet and the Jubilee, and where's the rattlesnake? This is a really cool Royal Golden. I've never seen this one. I'm going to go ahead and add that just to have on hand. The Texas Golden, Sugar Baby. We'll go ahead and try the Stone Mountain. Let's see. Of course, developed down in Georgia. That makes sense. That all checks out. So we'll go ahead and see if these Georgia melons have what it takes to survive the harsh summers of Colorado and my neglect.
And then wheat seeds. This is one of those weird things. I just like to order wheat. So I'm going to add a couple different varieties here. The blue Ethiopian emmer, and then just like the regular emmer. See what this red fire wheat looks like. I might order that just for fun. And I have a ton of zinnias already. I just love to have those around. Let's go ahead and see what the damage is. I see 76. This isn't going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to checkout. All right, so my summary is $239.75. My shipping should be free, but there will be a little bit of tax on that, probably around 6 or 7%. That's a lot of money to spend on seeds, especially since I already have a lot of them. So I'm just gonna go through and make sure I didn't add 2. So like for example, the rapini broccolis, I accidentally added 2, so I'm gonna change that down to 1. And I kind of like to just go make sure that I didn't go too crazy on some of these seeds. And it looks like I have a couple of free gifts here. I forgot exactly how that works with Baker Creek, but I know I think it's for every dollar amount or seed packet amount, they will send you a free gift. Which that's where I got the red Merlot seeds from last year. If you haven't already, please go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps out a lot. So let's see if there's any more varieties with 2 or more. And I'm not seeing any so far. I've really added a lot to my collection here. Dang, I really got a lot of these free seed variety gifts. That's kind of cool. As I spend $240. It's something. They don't have to send anything, and they do. So it's kind of a cool thing that they do. And my pumpkins. No, it looks like everything has just 1. So the final total is going to be $236.75. And then just whatever, a few dollars in tax will add to that. If you found this video educational or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. It helps out a lot. If you have any ideas for videos that you'd like to see me do in the future, please go ahead and drop them down in the comments below. My name's Tony, and until next time, stay cool.